Hello. How is everyone? Just waiting for my computer to do magical things to let me know everything's all good. There we go. Ooh, okay. Y'all feeling this energy? Even if you don't know astrology or don't know energy, like you got to be feeling that some shit is going on. So welcome to Divine Wisdom. I'm Sarah from Saradivinelyyou. I do oracle readings. I do weekly sun sign tarot readings. If you'd like a private reading, or if you have questions and would like a private session with me, you can email me. Email is below, or you can, I don't know, there's millions of ways to contact me. Just, I also felt like there was a lot of resistance for me to do this video today, which kind of makes me wonder what's about to come through. Because I've had some massive nosebleeds lately that have not been fun. So I'm super uncomfortable to go on camera because because I don't want my nose to start bleeding again. And then I was having some weird tech issues, which I don't normally have a lot of major tech issues, but my settings were all off for some weird reason. I felt like that was weird. And so, but I know from talking with other people, I had a friend earlier this week who was having trouble with her throat, and she hosts a podcast. So obviously, having her throat chakra, her throat go weird was kind of interesting because she talks for a living. So I feel like there's a lot of resistance showing up for those of us who do this kind of work, whether it's spiritual coaching, astrology, whatever. So anyway, so let's get into this. I got a couple of cards for you guys today. Today, Pluto goes retrograde in Capricorn for the last time in our lives, but it's at the end of Capricorn, and Capricorn is that system structures and governments and financial systems and all of that. So plus it's Taurus season, so the earthy energy of Taurus, with the system structure energy of Capricorn, I don't know, that could be interesting. And then of course tomorrow we have the solar eclipse in Taurus with I think it's right next to Uranus, which is a little disruptor bitch. So we're gonna have some wild energy. I know I have been feeling it today. I really had to slow down and check in because I felt like I was just trying to go too hard and too fast. And the energy kind of caught up with me, and I was like, okay, need to chill for a sec, and kind of collect myself, and all that. So from the ancient feminine wisdom deck, we got Abigail, or health, and she's got the serpent, which is really interesting. In the booklet, it says that the serpent is regeneration, and that Abigail was sort of petitioned when she sort of stood for the belief that health is both natural and supernatural. So that's very interesting to me, because that means that, and this is something that I practice frequently, right, is I connect whatever's going on with my physical body with what's going on with me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Actually have an index that I use whenever I have a physical symptom, and I look it up in this index to find out what's the emotional connection to that symptom. And then I kind of, that's where I can go and be guided to do inner work around that symptom. And so just an FYI, nosebleeds are a symptom of not feeling loved or feeling unlovable, which I don't feel in this moment, but that does not mean that some part of my subconscious isn't feeling it. Because I find it interesting that I feel that I have nosebleeds when I feel like I'm the most loved consciously, but that doesn't mean that my inner child or my ego is not feeling some level. Maybe she's not getting enough attention that she needs or something like that, because I'm living me, and so but you can look up any symptom. You can look it up on the internet. It's I'm trying to think of what I search for. It's symptoms, causes of symptoms, according to Louise Hay, I believe, is what it is. But you can look up causes of symptoms and connect your physical symptom with an emotional whatever, right? And this talks about like dis-ease. When there is dis-ease in your body, it's because there is something unsettled in your soul or in your spirit. And I really, really connect with this so much because I am someone who has dealt with physical body pain a good chunk of my life. Like that whole bullshit about having joint pain is an old people problem. It's crap, complete crap. I've had joint issues since I was in my teens and 20s. I'm now in my 40s, and I actually feel like I manage it better now than I did in my teens and 20s. Why? Because I tap into what it means emotionally when I'm processing through something. So whether it's indigestion, I can check in with my solar plexus chakra and be like, what can I not digest? What can we not be with right now? If I feel something in my low back or my hips, I check in with that region. Like, what's the fear? What's going on that we're scared of? Maybe it's the leap forward, right? Doing tarot videos on YouTube, right? Is super scary to me. And so I feel like this is really important because, we have a lot of disease in our world, and we physically, we're so quick to prescribe a pill or a medication or a treatment or whatever. We are not so quick to do talk therapy. We're not so quick to check in with our emotional self, with our inner child. Like, we kind of neglect that. And that is so important. Like, that's part of like the healing process, right? I don't know. When I was experiencing the worst of my physical pain and mental pain, um, there was always the option of going and getting tests and getting treatments and going through the motions and blah, 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 blah. And I just didn't want it. So I went physical therapy, and I went to talk therapy and worked with coaches, worked with therapists to work through my shit. To me, that was way more powerful and healing for me than popping a bunch of pills and feeling like shit. And I'm somebody who's very like, I'm super lightweight when it comes to pills. I can take like a Dayquil and it can knock me out. So like, which sounds really funny, right? But like, I get really lethargic and brain fog when I take like, I never enjoyed taking allergy pills for the same reason. I just felt brain fog, and I was like, I can't function this way. I can't function with brain fog. It wasn't how I wanted to live my life. But it also victimizes people. Like, it victimizes us when we get into when we get into take pop and pills for everything, when we get into the medical treatment. I'm not criticizing you if you're listening to this, you're like, damn, you're a bitch. No, I'm not. I to each their freaking own. But I think that this is so important that we ignore this part of ourselves, or I said it yesterday on my video, that like, we tell people they're crazy if they think that they feel something spiritual. We tell them that they're crazy. They're not crazy. They're feeling something. They're thinking something. And I feel like this is exactly it. Like, we are avoiding this part because this is doing work, and most people just want to like do a quick fix and get back to their life. We're about to have disruptive energy that's different than the disruptive energy we had in 2020. But it's about to be disruptive on a whole different level. And I think that this is so important right now, is to pay attention to your mental body, your emotional body, and your physical body, and realize and acknowledge that there is a connection between the two. I hope that resonates. That seemed, I don't know, I feel like I could go down rabbit holes with that because it's something that I feel very passionate about. It's something that I have felt very passionate about for a long time, that we really, as a society, we sort of disconnect from the one path that could lead us to harmonized healing, is to harmonize our systems together. Yeah. I think I get really sad. I get really hurt when I see people um, completely ignore ways of feeling better and they just want to like get a quick fix. Like it really saddens me when I see that on such a scale of like, yeah, just kind of bringing up some emotions. Okay, and then from the Believe in Your Own Magic deck, this is very aligned with disease or festering or like, but we got Clover, which is releasing guilt. Um, Guilt and shame are two low frequency emotions. And we tend to feel guilty. Like right now, I know people who feel guilty because they're enjoying life. They are, I don't know, but when 2020 got disruptive, I thrived. Like I was like, finally, everybody gets like that's because I'm like, I'm such a disruptive person. Um, but sorry, I got distracted by something outside my window. But guilt is something that we sort of wear on our shoulders, on our bodies. And this card is like suggesting or sort of giving you the nudge to release the guilt, release the shame. You have nothing to feel guilty or ashamed about, right? I feel like, I don't know, I feel a lot of things right now. So I'm really struggling to like laser in on what wants to actually come through. But guilt is something that the people tend to wear it on our bodies by way of like extra baggage or whatever. But guilt and shame are two low frequency emotions, so it's okay to release feeling guilty. You don't have to feel guilty for wanting to live a joyful life. You don't have to feel guilty for wanting to tap into astrology or tap into tarot reading. I thought that would be like the weirdest thing to get into tarot reading. And turns out I'm loving it. And I'm like excited to see where it's going to lead me as a guide, as a spiritual guide. And I would invite you to think about like, what can you release from yourself that would lighten your load, that would allow you to move into something that would make you feel joyous, make you feel jolly, like what would just light you up? But you got to release. So here's your permission, here's your nudge to release. It's okay. You're going to piss people off. That's okay too, because people are going to get pissy. But that's okay. Let that be on them. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I like this deck. This deck brings up some pretty powerful messages so far. So lots of healing to be had in this energy right now. And hence forward, there we go. There's lots of opportunity for growth and healing and really allowing yourself or even giving yourself permission to step into like, I feel like this for me personally is an opportunity to step into like not just joy, but like sensuality is what's been coming through for me. Like I feel like allowing myself to step into being a guide or step into being a divine feminine or step into being I don't know, that's not coming through, but is actually opening the space for me to step into a whole new level of like femininity on a different level. on a different level. And I don't know what that quite looks like yet. I think I'm still kind of in that, because there's like this constricted, uncertain, unknowing part when you grow into a new part of yourself or a new level of yourself. There's always like a new unfamiliarity going on. That's where I feel like I am right now. Like, what is this role? Okay, like 20 years ago, I was like a total tomboy. And I don't feel like a tomboy anymore. I feel like I'm really like refining my divine masculine and my divine feminine. So anyway, I hope that that was helpful to someone, to anyone. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I am working on a few things behind the scenes to kind of make these videos a little more fun, and all that. And yeah, I'm going to try and do a video. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow because I actually am going to an event tomorrow. So maybe Sunday, but I definitely would recommend, if you follow any astrologers, to check out their weekend forecast, because you know they're going to be talking about this eclipse. And so check in with them and really get some insight and some whatever channeling they've got going on to give you some guidance to get through it. The energy to me feels very unsteady. It feels very like it's building, almost like a tornado that like it's back building, and it's going to be worse when it comes, when the tornado touches down a second time than it was the first time. So again, this feels the same sort of level, or it feels like an up level of disruption from 2020. And so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you the next time. Ugh. Hold on. How do I get out of that? Let's see if I just end it.